It's the end of the week. It's Simply Bitcoin. We break down the news from Twitter, daily fail, meme review, software releases, the websites by plebes. Drop us a like, subscribe. We're going to the numbers. Let's do it. Block height, 676, 436. Current Bitcoin price, 54,700. Chain rewrite days, 604. Total lightning capacity, 1,156.26. Bitcoin versus gold market cap, 9.8%. Sats per dollar, 1,828. I don't know, it doesn't seem right. Like, I feel like I got to refresh that or something. No, that's the number. Okay.
It seems closer to 2,000.
Yeah, I know. Right. But I know that we've been going up, so I feel like it's too. Anyways, it's okay. It's just a feeling.
Oh,
he clucked by mistake.
That was a half cluck. Anyways, yeah, for anyone who's new to the channel and was wondering what the hell that was, this is Satoshi the Bitcoin Chicken. He only clucks when the price of Bitcoin reaches an all-time high, but you guys got a half cluck today by accident. He was just so excited. But anyways, Phil, it's time for it.
The Daily Fail. All right, so today's Daily Fail, obviously it's not Pierre, okay? But, all right, so hear it out. This has to do with the theme that we've been going all week, right? With these people and their ridiculous freaking narratives and how they're trying to paint Bitcoiners as like the most evil thing ever. Okay, here we go. When Ethereum switches from proof of work mining to proof of stake, they're going to push the green anti-Bitcoin narrative hard. It's going to be well-funded and highly coordinated. If you thought the 2017 scaling debate was ugly, this is going to be much, much nastier. And you know what? Usually I sit there and I'm not like hyperbolic and I'm you know, I'm pretty level-headed, but I got to say in this particular case, I think that, this isn't concern trolling, this is exactly what they're going to do, and the problem is that, again, we go back to this, this language, right? A lot of times when you see these arguments on Twitter, between like, let's say Ethereum and Bitcoiners, it's always about, oh, well, Bitcoiners aren't inclusive, and all this stuff. And it's like, listen, okay, inclusion this has nothing to do with proper, sound money, uncensorable money. Okay. So don't get fooled. It's a load of horse shit. Okay. The reality is that all the work that goes into providing the security for Bitcoin is absolutely required and is a necessity and is important and actually a good thing, because we haven't had good money and look where we are. So we obviously need the work to make this money good so that we don't fuck up again. So yeah, that's my fail.
No, and it's a great fail, and I think that I think it concerns me because the climate change thing is just, that narrative is going to be so hard. And as we have seen, right, facts don't really matter this year. It's more so who has the bigger platform, who says the more cool thing. Facts don't matter. Okay, this is the time that we're living in right now, and the only thing that doesn't change is that will ever be 21 million Bitcoin, right? So that thing remains the same while the whole world is remaining in flux. And man, Phil, are you ready for this fight? Because we're in the vanguard, bro. We're in the front. We're in the front. We're like, in like the old Revolutionary War movies, the one with Mel Gibson, they just like literally walk, which I'm gonna put a clip of course. Dude, we're like the two stupid people in the front, in front of all the bullets. Right?
Yeah,
anyways, that's our job.
It's going to be fun, and we're all going to learn something.
It's going to be interesting, to say the least. It is definitely going to be fun, and it's definitely going to be very bloody. It's definitely going to be scary at times, but it's all going to be worth it at the end. Phil, that being said, it's time for
the Daily Meme Review.
All right, everybody. So the meme for today, check it out, is brought to us by @RJames_BTC. Of course, it's referencing what happened yesterday. Twitter went absolutely crazy. This guy was essentially saying that the block clock and Jack Dorsey's meeting thing, he essentially was saying that it was the time of Russia, and he was just trying to put things together that weren't really there. And this just perfectly describes the situation, right? All the Bitcoiners on the right saying, dude, it's effing block clock. And then all the dumbasses, the very, very, it's the block clock because it's obvious. So, man, Great, and I explained it, so you guys are gonna have to say, "Oh, the black." Man, what am I gonna give it? I don't know.
I know it's a tough one. I mean, it's
moisturizer tears because my eyes get really dry at night.
Very nice and soothing. I like that. Nice and soothing. Okay. Well, look. Obviously, I think that's a freaking hilarious meme. That guy's a total. Not the guy who memed it, but that douche that made up all the. And you go look at his profile, and it's all like security and hacker and all this stuff. And it's like, are you really this insane, bud? Like, really? You think that's what's happening? He's blinking in Morse code, and you think that it's Russia time? And then he goes on to explain the angle of the sun and this and that. Oh, what a putz. Anyways, okay. So, yeah, he's gonna have fun staying poor because obviously his, anybody who's hiring that guy to do research, I want them to understand like he's wrong, right? He's totally wrong about this, which means a lot of the research he's doing for you is most likely wrong. Okay, just kind of understand that. Because he's applying all of his logic, and this is what he's coming up with. So he's probably using a lot of the stuff. Anyways, okay, I'm going on. So look, he's getting an M5. The tweeter though is getting an M5 stack. That's my rating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
It was a solid meme, man.
Solid memes, solid scores. It was freaking hilarious, and I absolutely love to dump on that guy because he's an asshole calling for violence against Bitcoiners. Never justified. But anyways, Phil, it's time for
the Daily News, sponsored by Crypto Cloaks.
All right, everybody. So the news for today, check this out. A continuation of what we've been seeing about this better flag theory, right? So, if a country bans Bitcoin mining, another country sees it as an opportunity. Specifically, this time, Kentucky. We have been telling you guys about how this bill was supposed to be passed to incentivize miners to mine in the state. Well, it just got signed into law, so kind of a big deal. More of an infrastructure type piece of news, but it's more of that continuation of what we've been seeing, Phil, right?
Oh yeah.
Bitcoin mining all around the world. It's happening. The higher the hash rate, the higher the value proposition. NGU technology. Phil, what are your thoughts?
Hey, look, it's exactly what you just said, right? Somebody else decides to say no. Well, someone else is going to take over that opportunity. I mean, why wouldn't you? It really is a no-brainer. I just don't have much on this because at the end of the day, you said it all perfectly. So look, that's really what it is. It's just a no-brainer. Kentucky, you know what? Actually, come to think of it, Kentucky unfortunately has, I think, pretty high unemployment, if I'm not mistaken. So this would actually help bring employment to a region, and the type of employment that it is as well would be skilled labor. So that's a positive thing,
Fabulous points. And yeah, it's what you've been saying, Phil, right? So one man's opportunity is another man's whatever. To quote our current president, you guys know the thing. The thing. Come on, man. But anyways, gotta love Uncle Joe. But anyways,
okay. Here we go. All right.
I just want to remind everybody we are apolitical on Simply Bitcoin. We don't lean left, we don't lean right. We'll make fun of any president, right?
Yeah,
whether it's Trump or Biden.
He's just funny.
All we care about is Orange Coin. We just want to let you guys know. But anyways, the next piece of news, man, so insidious, right?
Everyone's fair play. Okay, sorry, go.
It's so insidious, right? Blockchain forensics startup. Okay. Blockchain forensics startup Chainalysis raises $100 million at $2 billion valuation. The reason I laughed the first time is because they put startup and then they put $2 billion valuation below it. Regardless of that, dude, it's capitalism, right? So it was inevitable that some type of chain analysis company takes that place of working for, the man or Uncle Sam. So, that's a lot of money though, dude. That's a lot of money being poured into a company that only just literally specializes in tracking whose Bitcoin belongs to who, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely sinister a little bit, or it's probably because I feel that as a Bitcoiner, right? But if you see it from a neutral perspective, no, that sucks. Phil, what are your thoughts?
So obviously I don't really care for that company. I mean, of course, I imagine that the service unfortunately would exist, right? And of course it does. And naturally, people are taking advantage of that valuation, right? They're taking advantage of the fact that, some of this type of asset is desirable, and, they're going to, print money out of thin air. I don't really know how much business they really have. I don't really know, that $2 billion valuation, I'm sure, is 50 to 100 times really what their earnings are, if not even more. Look, I don't really care for the company. I honestly, I hope that they can't really monetize that well. And yeah, I don't wish them the best of luck, because I think what they're doing is totally scummy, and yeah.
I agree.
Scumbags.
And
I know that someone's going to do it, but hey, guess what?
Lightning is going to defeat them. It's just
okay.
Makes it useless. But anyways, in the interim period, but the last piece of news, Phil, which completely kind of kills the narratives of, all the 1,000+ shitcoins that exist, right? It looks like it was announced, Microsoft announces completion of Ion V1 and launch on Bitcoin mainnet. To quote the article or the announcement, Microsoft has announced the completion of Ion V1, a decentralized identifier technology. According to a press release sent to Bitcoin Magazine, the technology enables the identification of an entity without being controlled by a third party as username and passwords on servers, and can be considered a layer 2 technology built on top of the Bitcoin blockchain. Well, look, if you put the technology aside and all that stuff, well, the narrative from the ETH people, the ETH heads, is that, like, Bitcoin just does Bitcoin things. Well, here's another example of Bitcoin not only doing Bitcoin things, but doing other things good too, right? So just a minor observation. Phil, what are your thoughts?
Notice how they didn't build it on ETH. Notice how they felt that information was important enough that it had to be built on the most solid base layer. So while everybody, again, I know everybody gets pissed off, that we dump on the shit coins, but at the end of the day, the frickin' playground, and it's a circus. That's not where the serious people are going. Okay? Bitcoin is like it's the big person table. Everybody sits down there and they have serious conversation, right? It's the real thing. It's the hard base layer. And you see, that's where Microsoft went. So Microsoft quietly, right? Because we've seen comments from Bill Gates, right? Where he's even kind of like shitting on Bitcoin. But look at that, and I know he's not directly related to Microsoft anymore and all that stuff. And he just does nothing now and pretends to help people. But look, okay, at the end of the day, we still associate him with Microsoft. So for me, it's just like, look, he can, they can sit there and say whatever they want. But at the end of the day, like one of the biggest companies in the world has chosen to build that, that specific type of service on Bitcoin.
Isn't it fabulous to see how much Bitcoin destroys ideologies? Like, it just, like, if you choose to ignore it, which is what Bill Gates was saying, birds too much is inefficient, it would cost Microsoft, right? So Microsoft, exactly what you said, Phil, took the executive decision that they wanted to build not on Ethereum, they wanted to build on Bitcoin, right? So very interesting, especially after what you said, But anyways, Phil, there was a software release today. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
Software releases. All right, looks like we have Umbrel version 0.3.8 that was released, and that is down below in the show notes.
Awesome. Thank you, Phil. All right, guys, that was our show. You know what to do. If you enjoyed the episode, smash that like button. Smash it. Yeah, what Phil said.
Look, I'm moving.
And if you like our show, definitely think about subscribing. If you love us, subscribe. And of course, we will see you tomorrow for the weekend edition of Simply Bitcoin.